Hello, everybody. Welcome back on this beautiful Monday night. My name's Josh, and I've got my finger on the pulse of music. Yes. Today was Eclipse Day. Hope everyone got a chance to see that eclipse wherever you are. Here in Philadelphia, we were beset by clouds like the second that totality was supposed to be here, and it was a big bummer. So if you got to see any cool eclipse moments, let us know in the chat. Welcome. We're here not for eclipses, not for mystical parts of the sky descending, giving us omens from the gods. No, we're here to talk about Half Living Things, the newest album by Alpha Wolf. Just came out on Friday. So hot off the presses, new release alert. Let's be interesting to dive into this and see what we've got going on. So make sure you subscribe to get notified about the latest stream, latest reaction. We've got a couple queued up for the future. But you hit that bell, you'll make sure you know exactly where to be at what time. And follow me on Instagram and TikTok while you're at it. Mostly those are shorts that come out of these streams. So if you happen to miss a stream and don't want to invest the hour or whatever in the stream replay, maybe TikTok will give you that pulse of music craving that I know we all experience right about Thursday every week. It's like, God, it's been so long. Yeah, so follow me there. How does this work? What are we doing tonight? We're listening to Half Living Things. I'm going to give you a little bit of background on the album, a background on the band, and then kind of talk about my relationship with them, as well as then immediately go and listen to it track by track. And we'll rate each track. Either it'll be a flat line, it ain't very good, resting heart rate, it's pretty fine, or an off the charts, which is amazing. My heart's a flutter from it. And then at the end, we'll rate the whole album and give some closing thoughts on it out of 10. So, with that being said, let's dive into the band known as Alpha Wolf. These guys are a 5-piece band from Tasmania, which is Australia. It's the little island just below mainland Australia. They're based out of Melbourne now, which is how you say that, not Melbourne like most Americans. It's Melbourne. One of the few words that sounds like it has an Australian accent baked into it if you say it properly. So that's fun. They have 853,000 monthly listeners, which I knew Alpha Wolf is like on the rise and is blowing up, but that really blew me away personally. I guess I underestimated how much of an ascendancy they've had over the last couple of years, because Boundaries, which we covered last week, only has 172,000. So it's, not quite 8 times, probably more like 6 times as many monthly listeners as Boundaries, which that's crazy. That's pretty extreme. I was surprised by that. They've released 3 albums and then a number of EPs in the middle. They actually started in 2017 with Mono, and that was under a different vocalist, which I didn't realize when I was listening to Mono. I guess my ears aren't tuned to, the vocal stylings of their current vocalist, Loki. I listened to Mono over the weekend and was like, wow, these guys sprung fully formed out of the womb, with their debut. Turns out they did not. They had a different guy. So they started with Mono in 2017. Then they had an EP. Then they released A Quiet Place to Die in 2020, which was their first feature debut with the members Loki, Kyo. What a crazy name, right? That's their vocalist, Loki, and Mitch Fogarty. And then another EP, and then another EP, and then finally Half Living Things just came out on Friday. So this is their second album with the current lineup. So somewhat of a sophomore album, even though they have Mono prior to that. What do we know about this album? If let me know if you've heard about Alpha Wolf or heard of them or have already listened to this album. But in the meantime, like I mentioned, it was released on Friday via Grayscale Records or Sharp, which is I think a Sharp Tone imprint. It was self-produced. It's their first self-produced album. They didn't have. They may have shared production duties. I don't recall on A Quiet Place to Die, but this is their first like credited as self-produced album. So that's a big milestone for any artist, any band, and definitely it's something to be aware of because not every there's a reason why producers exist. But at the same time, like if you can pull off a great self-produced album, like go for it. It runs 39 minutes long, as you can see right there, 12 songs, 39 minutes. And its release was preceded by 3 singles, Bring Back the Noise, which is the leadoff track here, Sucks to Suck featuring Ice-T, which is insane. I saw that, that came out probably a month ago at this point, and I did listen to it. I don't remember it super well, but just to see that Ice-T is featured on an Alpha Wolf album is not the feature that I was expecting ever, but it's pretty rad. And then Whenever You're Ready was released fairly recently with this album. So on what it means, what does Half Living Things mean? I have a quote from Loki, the vocalist, saying, "There can be no inner conflict without the constant tug of war between desire and disdain, the things you want versus the things you need, or the things that make you feel alive against the parts of it that do not. You cannot grow new parts without leaving the dead ones behind. You cannot be settled until you have truly known the opposite. Find out what makes you tick and just keep running around the clock until you're happy enough to die." So it's interesting because it's like a lot of these bands I feel like they talk about their album and they talk about how like, oh, it's just about how, life is a slog and then you die. And so there's a futility note in all of this. This is more about balance and more about how like, yeah, you're going to die. But like, if you find that thing that gets you going, that's worth living for. So maybe that's the half living things. It's like, we know that there's futility, but also if you find what you're looking for, then like doing that is worthwhile. So it'll be interesting to hear how that comes out in the album. And then let's check out this album art, as we always do. If I can find the hidden, so it's obviously zoomed in on the in the backing here, but this album art is insane. It's got the huge Alpha Wolf text up top and like this burning tower, almost like Sauron, and this guy who it's funny. I saw some like comments saying that like they got Ice-T to do a feature and to actually be on the album cover. It's not supposed to be Ice-T, but this like kind of jacketed up guy with a big old boom box. It's very hip hop reminiscent, very Limp Bizkit, early Limp Bizkit. It reminds me of their first album. I'm struggling to pull the name off the top of my head, but they actually have their name on there twice. I'm realizing that maybe that might have been just the image I pulled. Otherwise, that's kind of weird. But the band said a couple things about the album. They said that there's like hidden meanings, like different references to different songs embedded in this cover. So, as we go, if you want to pull it up on the side, see how many things we can find. I didn't look up anything in advance, so I have no idea what's going to be there. But there's a hidden imagery to find. It's a little scavenger hunt for us, and it is hand drawn, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I do think the quit your job method. I mean, like, hey, if you find what you want to do, what was it exactly? Find out what makes you tick and just keep running around the clock until you're happy enough to die. And if your job ain't that, I don't think Alpha Wolf would approve. So let's move on. So let's talk about my relationship real quick so we can set expectations for what I'm going on this journey with. I discovered them kind of late because they released a split EP with Holding Absence, which is weird in retrospect. Like those two bands don't feel like they share that much sound, that they feel very like two sides of different coins. And I love Holding Absence. So I was like, oh, okay, Alpha Wolf. Yeah, I don't know them. Let me listen to them. And I thought they were fine. I don't think that those songs on the EP are particularly like, among their best. But I looked at their other stuff and I found Akudama, which is their biggest song by far. And it was like, I thought it was really, really fucking cool. And it felt like, oh shit, this is representative of the new wave of metalcore that's coming out. This is pushing into maybe like newer territory sonically. And primarily I think that's like because of that whammy pedal that they kind of like overuse to an extent. It's like every riff has that like whammy, like high pitched thing going on, but they also have this like groovy sensibility and just a lot of aggression. So I heard Akudama and I showed it to a non-metal loving friend. And for whatever reason, I was like, you're going to like this band. I know this. I found one that you'll like. It reminds me of EDM, which in retrospect, when I showed it to him, he was like, what the fuck are you talking about? How in the world is this EDM? And in retrospect, that doesn't make any sense at all. I don't know what I was on, but I think what I meant was that it felt very percussive with the way the riffs kind of line up. It's very danceable in its aggression. It's very nu metal. And so I was thinking that it was sort of it had that really intense rhythmic center, while also like kind of being forward thinking in the way that like EDM in the mid 2010s felt like it was. So not EDM related at all, but we'll see if it's as nu metal as it always has been. And then I revisited the other two albums, and I was disappointed because the original Mono album, which I thought was the full band, I thought was great. I thought it was super melodic. It was like diverse in sound. It had like almost like a blackened death metal sound at times. It had these more personal, confessional lyrics. Whereas I thought A Quiet Place to Die, like as much as I loved Akudama, it was like kind of more of the same. More just like heavy, kind of tough guy lyrics, talk just like about beat 'em up, strength, animals, they're stupid. I always thought that their name was really stupid. And it was just based off of the Liam Neeson movie, The Gray, which is like such a dumb reason to have the name that you have, is like to see a Liam Neeson movie. Oh yeah, we're called Taken because of a particular set. We're the band a very particular set of skills. Although that's almost funny enough to work. Alpha Wolf is just so like macho. So we'll see where they're headed. It feels like A Quiet Place to Die was very beloved, but it felt like forward thinking and also too samey. Let's see what we're gonna get with Half Living Things. We often like to predict the best song before we get into it. So let's hit that now. Hit me in the chat with what we think the best song is going to be. I'm going to say it's Haunter, because Pokemon, baby. Let's, even though maybe it's not as good as Gengar by Dowsing or Snowing, one of those two. You got to complete the Pokemon circuit. So let's get to it. Bring back the noise. We're going to start with that. Got the lyrics going. Let's find out what we're in for, shall we? Let's launch. Back to the heavy. This feels familiar as hell. Ooh. Got record scratches. Full-blown nu metal, baby. fun as hell. Where my dog's at? Starting it off with a bang. Yeah, I feel like that's like a light off the charts for me, because it feels, it's fun as fuck. That is such a fun song. I mean, come on. It's the big bad, where my dog's at. Ooh, like that's so fun. It's going to be a live staple for sure. I mean, you can hear that. But it's so nu metal. I mean, they really like, there's almost too many record scratches. I feel like it's as forward thinking as it felt like they were with A Quiet Place to Die. Now it feels like it's gone complete full circle, and it's like, well, we're actually going to throw back to the previous era. And it's moving it forward a little bit, but it's interesting that that's kind of the direction of the future is the past. Isn't that always the case? Lyrics, they're fun, but they're annoying. I feel like it's one of these songs, I'm down for it. I'm so ready. If we're going to get 11 of these songs, 11 of Bring Back the Noise, Where the Fuck You Been, Am I Too Loud, I Don't Give a Fuck, Time to Rattle These Speakers, Turn This Shit Up. This is just like, it's just like, banger music. Just like throw it in the car and go nuts. Play it live and have the crowd go crazy. Great opener, but makes me a little skeptical. What else are we getting? I can't party that hard for 12 tracks. I'm 30. I almost said I'm almost 30. Jesus. Let's keep it rolling. Double Edge Demise. What's your favorite day like? Alpha Wolf. Such good riffage. Let the drummer go. Super groovy. That's what I mean by they're dancey. They're like heavy as hell, but they're still really like dancey. Nothing's ever good anymore. Watching bodies sink through the floor. Well, they completed the new metal circuit. I mean, they didn't really complete anything, but they entered the first rung on the new metal circuit, the second rung rather. First rung is turntable scratches. Second rung is a song with Tick Tick Boom as the basis. And this one's Tick Tock, Tick Tock Boom, but I mean, Saliva, I feel like Saliva called and said, like, what the hell, guys? Where's our credit? This one to me is a resting heart rate because, like I said before, I'm kind of not prepared for like just aggro lyrics. I cry wolf, howl at the moon. Nobody fucking listens. Like, you're called Alpha Wolf, man. You can't. I don't know if I can handle like take seriously the idea of wolf driven lyrics at this point. But yeah, super groovy guitar work. Mike mentioned in the chat, absolutely agrees. Groovy, it's dancey, it's just like, it's fast, it's aggro. The drummer, the thing about not a beautiful place, a quiet place to die. The thing about a quiet place to die that got me was the drumming on it is absolutely insane. Like Alpha Wolf's drummer really jumped a number of rungs for me on like best drummers in the scene. And so we got just like a taste of it on this track, and I'm hoping that we get a little bit more of that in the future. And so far I'm a little bit, this happened last week, so again, it might be my setup, but the like production on the vocals seems slightly thin. It feels like I want it to be beefier. We'll see where we go. So already, Haunter is next up. This might be the peak of the album if my prediction comes to bear. So let's find out. I like the atmosphere. It's interesting imagery. I don't know if that was a glass breaking or gunshot or what. But... all right, now what is umbra? Latin word that means shadow. We learned something today, folks. Big shifts. We got 15 minutes of Nine Inch Nails wannabe I say minutes? I mean seconds. Yep. This is just the close. That's just the end to Closer by Nine Inch Nails, basically. Resting for me on that one. Mike says it's his favorite one so far. I think it's got the elements. It's got some elements that I like a lot, and I appreciate it changing up the cadence of the album. So I feel like this one is important to me for the album, but maybe as a track doesn't like stand out like I want it to. Right? Like the lyrics. This is the departure lyrically that I was hoping for, where this is a little bit more personal and like introspective, but melded with the sort of like violent, tough imagery, you know, about the hole in my head and yeah, I'm so alone in a house full of people, so loud. These things, shut up. It's the blend of the personal and the, you know, aggro, which is, I think, good. But it's not as exciting riff-wise. It has that nice atmosphere to it. Like, it definitely has, like, haunted house feeling. But it doesn't have... The riffs are a little bit less interesting. They're not groovy when they kick in, at least not like the grooves on the first two tracks. And they don't stand out, really, to me. So... I think that's yeah, that's kind of meh. That was why that's arresting for me. Now we're heading into Ice-T territory, which for the uninitiated, Ice-T is a hardcore band vocalist. Body Count is his band. So are we gonna get Body Count Ice-T, or are we gonna get straight up rapping Ice-T? We'll see. Probably, I would expect more hardcore call outs stuff. Let's see what we got. I know I've heard this before, but I don't remember it, which is probably not a good sign. I would hope that if an amazing track with Ice-T came out, that that would be pretty memorable, I think, but instead it's just kind of like gone to the void. So let's find out what Ice-T's delivering. Shout out Law and Order SVU. So the longest song on the album so far. Almost 4 minutes.
I am too bent out of shape, walking around with a limp like, no, wait, I am too bent out of shape, walking around with a limp, looking for something to break.
Broken glass. Shit is so cheesy, man. I don't know why. That's not for me. Exactly what it is, Mike. It feels like it's Fred Durst worship. I like the little background elements here. Kind of interplaying guitar. What does that mean? Oh, that's like cancer astrology.
Motherfuckers are weak.
He's arrived.
Weak, motherfucker. That's why all you can do is talk shit. shit, cause that's all you have. If you coming for me, you gotta come better than that. I've been through too much shit in my life for your pussy ass to bother a motherfucking thing I'm doing. Your blade's too blunt. This is Alpha Wolf, motherfucker. You wanna die?
Hell yeah, man. That's exactly what you want out of Ice-T. That's exactly what you want Ice-T to come in here and do. What more could you ask for?
You won't take my grave with a blind blood. You wanna run your mouth cause you can't keep up. Don't have to watch. Such a son. You won't take my grave with a blind blood. You wanna run your mouth. Keep up.
All right. Ice-T is incredible. That's exactly what you want, but I gotta admit, didn't do it. Didn't do it for me. It's a flatline. I cannot, despite how fun Ice-T is, coming in here, referencing the lyrics of the verses, or the choruses rather, saying this is Alpha Wolf, motherfucker, you want to die? Like, what more do you want? However, there's no chance I will ever put this on again. The chorus is not good. It is so blunt that it's boring. Sucks to suck just doesn't hit. You know, this isn't 8th grade. This isn't the playground and someone just made fun of you and that's your, you know, you're going to have a comeback. Like it's the whole thing. It's built around that. And that's just like weak as hell. It's also like, it's not heavy enough to justify, to like, let me forgive it for that sin, you know, like it's not as interesting. I think you compare this to Bring Back the Noise, for instance, and even Double Edged Demise, but Bring Back the Noise, the first song, that felt like that is like hitting you. That is punishing. That's bludgeoning. That's stupid, but it's fun and it's heavy and it's just like a full like idiocy at 100%, just like absolute goon shit. And the mosh pit's going to be crazy. It's insane. This feels like it's held back. You know, the lyrics don't necessarily, they aren't held back, but the instrumentation is like, it's too mid-tempo. You know, it's like, it's not, it doesn't pound me like I want it to. Ice-T, the lyrics and Ice-T are coming in and talking about, you know, I've been through too much shit in my life for your pussy ass to bother a motherfucking thing I'm doing. How fun is that? But then that's it. That's all you have in this song. I feel like it doesn't support it. It doesn't build to it properly. I do like Count Your Teeth, Pick 'Em Up, like as a pre-breakdown thing, but I didn't find the breakdown to be particularly compelling either. So, yeah, it feels like they wasted an incredible Ice-T feature, and I don't forgive them for that. That's why it's a flat line. It's I want more. I want a lot more. So now in an Ice-T-less rest of the album, let's move on to Whenever You're Ready, which is the third single. And sounds like their softest song potentially in years. This is like, sounds like almost Linkin Park, like, I think it's guitar, I don't think it's synth, but it's Linkin Park like guitar melody in the background.
We used to meet the sunrise, face
I've ever heard this man sing clean vocals. Might also be another member of the band, but
There's an ocean of stones unturned. Too many chapters left unread. In the blink of an eye, you capsized my entire world. I'll sing my favorite songs when tears going on. Let the picture sing. Let the picture sing. You can break down if you want to. You can stay inside if you need to. I'll be your resting place. Bring you back to me if you want to. If you need to. Break down if you want to. You can stay inside if you need to. I'll be your resting place. Bring you back to me if you want to. If you need to.
you can see my face as we're listening to this. Yeah, I'm agreeing with that about the chorus. That is whoever they got singing, whether it's Loki or somebody else. Not a great tone out of that guy. This is the longest song on the album here. Ugh, yeah. We fade. Okay. That's another one of these from me. Flatline. I do not think that was a good use of clean vocals, to say the least or the most, potentially. I think it was it had the makings of something good. I feel like I do like, again, going back to Mono, their first album, I feel like their first album had a lot more of this atmosphere and a lot more of these personal, confessional sort of lyrics. And certainly, while I can't recall now if there's full-on clean vocals, there's like a variety of instrumentation and vocal styles that kind of made it feel like it had space to be more emotive. This is like Alpha Wolf. It feels like Alpha Wolf said, we're going to write an emotional song, and it's going to have atmospheric guitars. It's going to have clean vocals, and we're going to make it, it's like our tribute to the Linkin Parks and Breaking Benjamins of the world. And instead it came out as we have Breaking Benjamin at home. So this is even worse than Sucks to Suck in my mind, because there's no redeeming Ice-T feature. Just not strong enough not strong enough songwriting to carry it through. So let's see what comes next with what it could be one of the worst song titles on the album, Pretty Boy. We'll see what it's about. Well, interesting. But we're back to straightforward Alpha Wolf. You just admitted your Adam Driver crush to the entire internet, Mike. How's it feel?
You're really not that cute. No. Self-defined and shit or attention. Even mistress or master. Call me whatever gets you there faster. Just don't call me after. You know what I mean. You know what I know. You know what I mean. You know where to go. Surrender myself underneath you. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't need to. Into my head. I get my back. I get my back. I spit in your face. But I know that you like that. You're not outside. You're not outside.
What are we doing, Alpha Wolf?
I love the gas, so don't pretend. You run trickle down my neck when you're so left.
At least there's a good, chunky, groovy riff, you know? That's it.
You're so far as mine, however lies so sweet, but not so nice.
You know they just desperately wanted to work Shibari Spiderweb into a song.
Surrender myself underneath you. Nothing makes sense when I'm with you.
All right. It's 2024, and Alpha Wolf said, we gotta write an S&M anthem. We gotta write. So, how did I say? Wait, I just see that coming across in the chat. Oh my good Lord. Okay. That scared the ever-loving crap out of me. I was just setting up for a whole thing, a whole we were about to take a trip down memory lane, a trip into the imagination. Instead, I'm over here thinking that like I've got totally identity thieved over here, or that I cloned myself, or somehow wrote a script to write like to post to my own YouTube channel in my dreams. So that's cool. Sign the hell out of that. No, what were we saying? It's 2024. Alpha Wolf decides to write an S&M anthem. Let's rewind to 2010 or so. Buck Cherry writes a song, Crazy Bitch, right? We see the linear progression here. Back up to like 1980 or so. We've got Motley Crue doing Girls, Girls, Girls. There's better examples of that. Van Halen, Beautiful Girls, things like that. My Michelle by Guns N' Roses. These sleazy, sex driven rock songs that are often borderline misogynistic, very like kind of weird and uncomfortable to sing, honestly, just like too horny for their own good. It feels like this song belongs to that lineage. It belongs to the Buckcherrys and the Hinders of the world. And that ain't it for me. That's not what this band does best. You know, it takes a delicate touch to write an S&M anthem. Just ask Rihanna. She fucking did it perfectly. But I don't like to imagine. I don't want to imagine the crowd of an Alpha Wolf show, like Alpha Wolf fans being like, this is the best song that I've ever heard. I love that song. Oh, it's so good. That skeeves me out. So, flatline for me. Moving on to, I actually didn't, I got the track list wrong because it's not rendering the umlaut. There's supposed to be an O in the next track list. At the end of the next track, Mangekyo. That's what I'm going to need to Google. Let's see where we go. Got some interesting imagery in this one, at least. As much as I rail against these tough guy lyrics, this one, I feel like this has got a little more going on. Oh. Pull back deep vocals. Kind of simple. Simple little breakdown. All right. A little bit of silliness to end with some slam. You just imagine like 3 huge dudes in the pit just like waving their arms all around. A couple spin kicks. Okay. That's a resting heart rate for me. Nothing too exciting, honestly. I did look up what Mangekyo is or whatever, and I can't tell if it's something specifically from Naruto or if it is something that is real, but it supposedly it means kaleidoscope, but that it means specifically, or that there's something else to it, and this might be the Naruto piece, I'm not sure. It's like the beautiful patterns in someone's eyes is what I am understanding, at least with, cursory Google over here. So, certainly knowing that, I would not expect this song to have come out of that title. Um, I think, yeah, it just felt kind of boring. I appreciated some of the lyricism, at least where it's, at least if it's like kind of these like tough macho lyrics. I like this rapid fire imagery in the beginning, this sort of like, dumb dog, bark a little louder so you can see the bitch you become. I mean, that sort of phrase is a little tired at this point, but I like dumb dog. It's just so simple and like something that you would just hear walking down the street, but now it's just, oh, it's in this song now too. So fine. Certainly better than Pretty Boy. Certainly better. A little bit of a return to form. So let's move on to A Terrible Day for Rain, which I really like. I've lost my cursor. I really like as a song title. I think it looks like my alter ego also left, which is good. It's reassuring. That's something I got to look into after this is done. It's a little bit more of a technical, traditional riff. I like it. It's a lot groovier. And now we're in the Hans Zimmer section. Yeah, you can feel it. There's the Alpha Wolf I miss. Yeah. Oh God, the other one's gonna play soon. Oh God. Okay. I'm all over the place. Yeah. I mean, that felt like a breath of fresh air, like a sweet, delicious sip of water. Was it the best thing ever? No, but it just felt like I expect Alpha Wolf to feel, and I like this. I like this rose imagery. I like I like the use of glow as this sort of like call out. Because like I feel like so many bands just say like go in a lot of those moments, but it kind of works with the imagery, and also it's just like feels a little more unique in this case. I like the layering of sounds. You know, this one has like that whammy guitar, and when I say whammy, that's like the pedal. It's like a big red pedal usually, where it's like makes the pitch shift way up. So that's where you hear the like. It's like that's a normal guitar, but with a whammy, someone their guitar is stepping on a pedal, which activates the pitch shift effect. And that just feels like a very quintessential Alpha Wolf effect. And I like having that layer in there. There are these other more unique for them sounding riffs that are coming in with a little bit of like speed. And then production wise, this is doing a lot in a way that I think works in general. You know, you hear like a riff starting way in the background, like barely audible, while there's like a whammy layer and like another main riff happening, and it all kind of like develops together. So I think for me that's like a light off the charts. Yeah, I appreciated that one. And it's great title too. I feel like this is one that I would give a re-listen and see how I feel about it in the future. Next, Bane.
Revenge, best of dust cold. Drown if you think, burn if you fold.
Yeah, just right out of the gate. I'm waiting to hear where did this new metal go? It almost sounds like a choir? Is it a lot of voices? Yeah, like really reverbed room. A lot of voices. That sounds really weird. Oh, that's not the same. Yeah, that like space. It's like he's like in a big echoey room. That's what the Wise sounded like. Guitar sounds really good here. Maybe more so standing out to me, like production-wise. No, woe is me. Okay. That's a tough one. I think it's came and went. It's arresting for me. I feel like it's not the worst thing ever. It's not the worst that we've heard. Definitely not the worst that we've heard. But I think the production's doing a little bit too much here. As much as I said, I mean, the one that one middle section, I thought the guitars sounded really, really good. Just like the tone, it felt very articulated, very present in the mix in a nice way. But I don't like those the like why echoey reverb room that we heard a couple times in there. I don't like when it's just Loki with that kind of big reverby room. Um, when it pulls out, it doesn't sound quite as nice. Yeah, it just feels like it's trying to salvage an average song with production, and I don't. That's not for me. So not the worst, not the best. Let's keep it moving. We got Garden of Eyes. Damn it. There's always one. Always at least one without the lyrics. Let me see what I can do. I'm not prepared. I said I would learn how to do it, how to pull it up. I didn't prepare. Gigantic Amazon ad. Ooh. Yeah, that was a kind of a fun new color um at the end there, that just really deep gutturals. I like that. Uh I appreciate that it's like a thematic. It feels, the imagery feels thematic with the Garden of Eden, religion themes throughout, which is nice. Um, but I think it's arresting for me. Um, and well, thank God you're still here, Tyler. Otherwise, how would I know if my identity was truly safe or not? Um, Yeah, that one again, kind of not terribly exciting to me. But again, I asked this at the beginning of one of these songs, where did the new metal go? Where did the first track starts out announcing itself so loudly as like, this is a new metal revival album, and there's going to be turntables, there's going to be like rap influence, and there's going to be really like tough, strong lyrics, and we're getting pieces of it in individual tracks, but the like throwback sound is, it left us when with the Ice-T track, at least. I mean, you could argue that that's the last thing that we heard that was really deeply new metal, and I feel like that was the thesis statement of this album. You know, we're about to listen to the second to last song. It kind of went away. We had that like Breaking Benjamin-esque song, that god awful Breaking Benjamin ripoff, and I mean, I don't want it to be bad, but I feel like I thought that was what we were doing here. So will it come back? We got 2 tracks to find out. Here's the title track. The statement. Wait, what is it? The title track? No. Half Living Things. That's what we're here for. We don't have lyrics for the last 3, so let me pull it up like I just did before and see if I can do it without having a gigantic Amazon ad. Definitely too samey in the back half, Mike. That's how I felt about A Quiet Place to Die. It's like, they can write a mean riff. They can write a hell of a mean riff. But that's all they got sometimes. All right, we're back. All right, so at least got a little bit more of that rap rock vocals style. There's a Korn reference. They heard me asking, and they said, we'll just deliver a little bit of a Korn reference sprinkled in. I like the chorus. There is a conspicuous lack of barks in this. I feel like Loki's a guy who's kind of known to bark a little bit. I mean, that's Akudama's chorus, right? Akudama.
Hyundai Santa Cruz versus Toyota Tacoma.
God, there's an advertisement
Look what Santa.
playing. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but nope. What is going on? I'm lost in the sauce. Okay. We just had a Toyota Truck Month ad in my headphones, and I was like, that's no free advertisements. Toyota, you can sponsor me. Thank you very much. No, I like that better than I liked a lot of the other tracks on this back half. Just I feel like the chorus. I mean it's fun to me when there's a like heavy chorus that is also catchy. I feel like that had some accessibility to it, but it's still nothing special to me. I think, did I already rate it? It's arresting if I did or didn't. Just yeah, I want more. It just gave the bare minimum of the new metal references to almost give the album a pass for coming in so hot with them. The and Brie, I don't even know. I can't even think of like if there is a Hyundai riff or if that's a joke, because some of these things, I swear, like the Home Depot riff, now that's a banger. The Home Depot riff is like one for the ages, but I'm like, Hyundai, is there a Hyundai riff? Do I like the Hyundai riff? Certainly the none of it can hold a candle to the Kia hamsters. The hamsters with like they were having a party in those Kia Souls, man. That was great. Let's close it out. Let's get out of this mess with Ambivalence, which also doesn't have lyrics, which means I'll have to find them again. Starting off real quiet. This is working for me so far. I know this guy's kind of a mess. Can breathe. That was reasonable. I swear to God, I'm holding my breath so much, hoping that this guy can hold it together, something that sounds reasonable for a whole song. I think we're in the clear. I think this guy sounds perfectly fine. There's a lot happening right now. A lot of sound effects. Stack them up. Give me the layers. They stole my thunder with the heartbeat sound effect. $10 as it fades out. I mean, the heartbeat sound effect. Obviously, the song fades out. I was already doing that. All right, folks. That was a perfectly fine song, in my opinion. It at least has like some melody to it. It's got some atmosphere. It's got some confessional lyrics. But folks, there's one big problem with this song. There's one big problem, and that's that they wrote a better version of it already. The last track off of A Quiet Place to Die, I believe it's called Am I Okay, is this song before this song ever existed. And not only is it this song, it is a much more powerful, interesting, strong version of this song. So for that reason, I'm going to give this thing a flat line, caught behind the lyrics. But that is a pale imitation of what I know that Alpha Wolf can make when they commit themselves to a more accessible, slow, atmospheric, dark sound. And it's a bummer. It's a bummer because they committed. They also gave the backup vocalist, the clean vocalist, who we know is not particularly strong. They gave him a lot of real estate on this track, and he sounded inoffensive to me. But that's the best word I can offer. Is I was terrified that god awful tone from whichever previous song he sang on, that god awful tone would come back, and it didn't. But it's not like he suddenly found a compelling sound either. And lyrically, it just feels like this is a weird way to put it. It feels like sometimes listening to this band, I forget that they're Australian. And I think that instead they're like Eastern European. Because I don't think their lyricism and like turn of phrase is particularly strong. And a lot of times I think you hear that with like Eastern European bands or Northern European bands, or just like bands not non-English as a native speaker bands, because they have to write in a language that they aren't native speakers of. And so things come out a little awkwardly, and things come out like a little oddly accented, and some words are maybe in a different order than you would conventionally expect. And I kind of feel like these lyrics sometimes feel that way too. So all this to say, ambivalence, I'm not ambivalent about it. I don't like it. it's time for the review. Half Living Things by Alpha Wolf. This confirmed what I suspected about Alpha Wolf, which is that they are a band that is getting weaker over time. I'm saying this not knowing what the community sentiment is about this album at all. It's very possible that the world loves this album and thinks it's a wonderful evolution of the metalcore scene. But for me, this is probably the weakest album I've done on this channel. I know I had a hard time getting through the Paleface album, but that thing was tough because of its length primarily, and because it was just so pummelingly heavy, even if and kind of samey in that regard. This is taking a number of swings, but it doesn't feel like it knows which like fence it's aiming for with those swings. You know, like it starts out delivering like a statement on how nu metal is going to return through them. Even the song title of Bring Back the Noise, it harkens back to hip hop and rock and metal fusing into something that's like noisy and mean and nasty and tough. And it just abandons that partway through. That whenever you're ready features some of the worst tone of clean singing that I've heard in a long time. At least it went in a band that's earnestly trying to sound good, I should say. They totally waste Ice-T, the singular feature on this album. I feel like they don't give him enough support. The song is not good enough to justify his incredible feature. And then it's a lot of samey, kind of groovy, heavy riffs. Like they clearly have a lot of talent, and they clearly have a knack for writing these heavy, groovy, syncopated, shifting, whammy accented riffs that feel just like they make you want to beat something up. You know, they are written for a mosh pit, and that's awesome. They're really good at it. I feel like you can't listen to these albums and not picture like a room full of people going absolutely nuts for most of it. But as an album, I mean, there's just so many skips to this. And there's so much, it's so challenging to differentiate one track from the other. So as far as a rating, like, I think it's a 5.
Okay.
That's it. It's got some good moments. It's got some awful moments. And I think they kind of balance each other out to a big, like, is this the most offensive thing I've ever heard? Ever? No. But just kind of like, whatever. You guys are supposed to push metalcore forward. I don't think you're pushing it much of anywhere, you know? So, next week I will be beaten to a pulp by all the Vicious Alpha Wolf fans, and so I probably won't be here. We will be back next week. And next week, we're going to be covering a totally different genre, which is a little bit more of the emo, mathy sort of world. We're gonna listen to Pool Kids by Pool Kids, and I think that should be a fun change of pace, given that we've done metalcore, hardcore adjacent sort of things more often recently. So like and subscribe to get notified for when we go live. But next Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, Pool Kids it is. I am absolutely terrified of the fact that the metalcore sentiment is positive. So I mean, at least I still gave it a 5, right? Like, I haven't really had a bad review on this channel yet, so it's a new thing. Country is Pool Kids country? What's country? Yeah, I think I want to look up what people are saying about this album. I mean, I'm gonna write my review on album of the year like I always do, with the same vigor as I gave here, but I'm really curious what people see in it that's like extra special. I do think they're like riffage, and yeah, I think they've got a special talent for that and write really interesting riffs, but it's not enough to make an album. So, thanks for joining. We had a earthquake on Friday, an eclipse today, and a 5 for Half Living Things by Alpha Wolf. See, that's a problem with these this delay sometimes. I was like, that came in for my eyes a little bit like 3 minutes after I talked about the new genre. We probably would do a country album eventually, but we'll see. In time. All in time. In the meantime, Pool Kids is next week. And until then, I appreciate everyone for joining me. I hope to see you again next week. My name is Josh, and I've got my finger on the pulse of music. See you next time.